What's up, traders? This is Vee Trades, and today I'll be doing a technical analysis breakdown for Meta platforms with the ticker symbol FB. Remember that if you want a chart analysis guaranteed to be done, please read the description below. Before we begin, please take a second to give the video a like and subscribe for more chart analysis. I appreciate all those who have already subscribed and liked my videos. Just a reminder that this video is for entertainment purposes only. It does not constitute any financial advice. I will first go over what I see on the daily chart and finish the video off with the weekly chart. So Facebook was trading at the high of 384 and now we are trading at the very low $300 level. So let's see what that drop is on a percentage scale, and that is about a 21 to about a 25% drop that Facebook had. Facebook had. It's about a 25% drop, and now we are recovering just a little bit. So where is Facebook going now? So I was a little bullish previously on Facebook because we were inside of a downtrend. You can see that this downtrend is working lower. And then what price did was that it had a break outside of the channel, and that shows signs of weakness for the downtrend. So that could mean we could get a reversal or a correction that goes sideways, and we did get that correction that goes sideways. So you can see that we had a break outside the channel, move to a new low because it stopped out the person or the price level at this previous point, and it made a new low because it's lower than the previous one. So and then that led to a sideways correction for several months, and you can see that Facebook was trapped inside of this range, and I was expecting prices to break outside of the range right around here. So I was expecting prices to break outside of the range because if I drag this up, you can see that I thought this was a break outside of the range on this side, so that normally leads to a break outside of the range on this side. But if I just drag it lower, it still looks like it was just part of the lower bounds of the range. So we got rejected at the upper side of the range, which is also expected too, because you can't buy into a resistance point, because you can see previously the sellers came into the market around this level. So this sellers up here, and it led to a little triple top. You can see those first was a double top, and then we got a triple top, and we have been going down ever since. So looks like Facebook cannot find any type of support either at that 325 level. You can see it was trying to get its footing right here, but the momentum and every other stock in the market also sold off, so this was no exception. So where does it look like Facebook is going next? So this looks like to me a measured move. So we can see another leg down because we had one strong leg down, a two-legged correction. You can see that the market went up, down, and then up, so that's two legs of correction. And if we drag this over, you can see that it looks like Facebook is trying to target the 277 278 level, and we are getting closer and closer to that because the EMA is starting to curl over and pointing down. So it looks like this could be a start of a downtrend until we reach that target. Let me show you guys that right now. So let's go ahead and clean this chart up a little bit more. Let's erase the drawings. Take that out of the way. So let's put a channel on here. So this channel fits the prices pretty good, and it's working lower. So in the near term, I'm expecting a pullback for Facebook and a lot of other companies because we are kind of oversold. Not by much, but I'm expecting a slight pullback, especially this was a breakout outside the range. You can see that this massive green bar was a pullback to the range. So that's normally what happens during a breakout. Usually breakouts fail, at least temporary, before continuing lower. So we did get that failure and it came back, but now we are consolidating. So we could see another pop up, justifying resistance, and then continue lower. So that's what I'm trying to illustrate, that we could still continue lower even though it looks like we had a rally. And the same thing over here. You can see this green channel holds prices pretty well, and this, let's go ahead and make this yellow. This yellow channel is also holding prices pretty well. But even though prices had a rally outside of the channel, there was still another move down to retest the previous low and exceed it. So that's what I'm still expecting here, where prices are still inside of this channel. I'm expecting a little rally outside of the channel, but then I'm expecting one more dump lower to surpass the previous low. So that's what I'm banking on Facebook doing. So my target is at the 277, 278 level. So once we reach that level, am I still bearish or am I bullish? And do we even have to reach that level? We don't have to, but that's the odds I'm playing. I think there's still downside potential by looking at the chart. But from there, I'm still bullish because if you can see that previously there was a spike up right here, and then prices went inside of a flatter channel, and we have not had that retest of the all-time high yet. So we had a break outside the channel, and normally that leads to a run up. So we haven't had that yet. So we could just be doing a two-legged pullback to eventually get that rally back up. So that's why I'm still bullish. So as long as we don't break the 250 level and enter the 230s or 240s, I'm still thinking we're going to reach the all-time high. So as long as Facebook bounces from this level and gets its footing, then we could recover and race off to the all-time highs. And that's what a lot of stocks looks like they're trying to do. They had a little pullback, but I'm still expecting that second leg down. And then from there, a lot of stocks still can have room to run up. So Facebook is no different. So that's pretty much everything I have on the daily chart. So it looks like it was range bound for quite a long time. You can see pretty much for several months, or since October into January. And then there was a little break, and now we're just consolidating below the range. So we could get a pullback up, but I think that pullback is going to be a failure. I think we're going to find resistance and continue lower one more time before seeing that rally. Is there a possibility for Facebook just to rally out of here? Yes, but just the market sentiment is kind of weak, and the technicals show that it's probably at a lower probability on doing that. So that's why I'm still expecting lower prices to that 278 level. And give you guys an update if anything else changes. So let's go and wrap this up on the weekly chart. So the weekly chart is pretty much the same chart, but more summarized view of the daily, because each candle bar shows the week's price action instead of the daily chart showing the daily price action. So you can see it's the same chart, but just a little easier to see on the eyes, and it shows you more of the price bars in the past. So you can see previously that Facebook had a drop of 43% before continuing up. So there are some large sell-offs since this is a tech company, and you can see there was another sell-off here, 38%, and this sell-off is less than the previous ones at the 21. It only sold off about 25%. So if it reaches my target, it's at the 30%, and that's still not that bad. Or the 278, I believe. Yeah, right around that 27-28%, so it's still not that bad, because whenever Facebook gets below that EMA, it still finds a way to get back up. So this is no different. So I'm still expecting price to continue higher, only because the uptrend is still intact. So you can see that there's this bigger spike in channel. I showed you guys a smaller one right here on the daily chart, but this is a bigger one going back all the way to 2020. And you can see that this is holding prices pretty well, and prices are respecting it. So that works. This fits pretty nicely right here. And prices sold off because it was at the upper side of the channel, and normally that leaves prices to the lower side. And we were pretty close to the measured move, so we don't have to reach it all the time, but this was pretty close. And maybe buyers got out of the position because they got scared that we were pretty close to the end of the move. But since we came up short, and it looks like this correction is playing out, then we might still see that run up to the 413 level. Let's put a horizontal line right there. So like I said before, prices were at the upper side of the channel, which leads to the lower side. However, it looks like Facebook couldn't get a bounce here. Normally when we come to the lower side, we get a bounce up, just like we did over here. But that's not going to happen all the time. So this time we are getting that correction, and looks like it wants to play out before making that run up. So I'm still bullish as long as it plays out like I showed you. If we start correcting much further down, then obviously something else is happening. But as of right now, I think Facebook still has room to run up, and we're just correcting down, especially since we just had that two-legged correction, which can mark the center of the pattern. And it looks like the target that Facebook is trying to reach is at that 277 level, and that's right back to the starting point of this entire up move. So that's pretty much all I have for Facebook. Thank you for stopping by and checking out my video. Make sure to check out the rest of the channel, since you might be surprised at what you can learn. Leave a comment down below on where you think prices are headed. Also share the video if you want your friends to learn about the markets. Lastly, I appreciate any feedback to help improve the channel since I want to deliver great content to you guys. See you next time, and bye.